60-second ethics lesson. Your niece is just getting into compliance. What piece of advice would you give her so that she could be extremely successful in her career?
I would tell her to be herself, to be honest, and to not be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are opportunities to learn and to grow.
I think in order to be successful in the compliance space, you have to be authentic, you have to be courageous, you have to be comfortable having hard conversations, and you have to be approachable.
So selling compliance can be kind of hard, but if you just sell it as doing the right thing, even when nobody's looking, a lot of people are going to jump on board with you on that one. I also find build relationships. You have to have the relationships, you have to be transparent, you have to communicate, and people are going to help you out if you help them out.
Do the right thing even when no one's looking. That's what compliance is about. That's what ethics is about. And really, to be able to go to sleep knowing that you did the right thing, abiding by you, by the company you work for, your reputation. So I would say do the right thing.
The more education opportunities that you can get involved in, the better. Even if it doesn't apply to your industry, you may still learn things that may be best practices or good things to incorporate.
What is a piece of advice you'd give your niece who's just getting into ethics and compliance on how to have a great career?
Not get hung up about being 100% perfect, because you can't go from 0 to 100 in a day. You gotta have some bite-sized milestones.
No, just kidding. Actually, I've got to tell you, to be honest, it's the best rewarding job I've ever had. You know, you're making a difference every day. It's not like you're saving people's lives, but you're actually saving corporate dollars. You're saving a ton of money. You're putting the company best foot forward. I really enjoy the work I do. Sometimes we get really bad rap when it comes to what we put out there, because, you know, people think like, oh, you're the no fun police, right? You're here to ruin our day. You know what? We're here to make everyone's day smoother. We want to make sure that, you know, you have a good time. Our customers have a good time. Everyone follows rules, and at the end of the day, everyone leaves happy.
I would advise that they develop as much interpersonal skills as possible, but also a lot of critical thinking and strategic thinking. I feel like we are constantly trying to strategically think about what our vision is, but even more important than that, strategically think about how we can make that happen. And that is often where the rubber hits the road, and often very complicated.
If there was one piece of advice you could give your niece who just gets into compliance just now, what would it be for her to have an extremely successul career?
First, I would say probably come to this conference because it's been wonderful. But then I'd also tell her that she really needs to think about how the best way to work compliance into everyday functions within the organization. I think that's really important. It's just to work it into everyday functions.
Have a natural curiosity about wherever it is she works. What do they actually do, and what does the company actually do? But what do the people in the different business functions actually do? Because if you don't have an interest in what is this actual business, then why are you there? Like they say, compliance officers should know the business. Well, that's what that means. And if you are not enthusiastic about where you're working or what they're doing or who your coworkers are and what they're doing, find another place, because otherwise you're going to wind up just kind of being bored and rubber stamping it. I don't think that does anyone any favors.
Well, other than coming to the conference, I would probably say to build those stakeholder relationships as early as possible and really invest in those.
I would say 1, go the extra mile. Number 2, make decisions on your core values before you get into any kind of precarious situation. And probably the third thing is always work on being better.
60-second ethics lesson. Stay tuned for more.